What's up, car lifers? It's your boy Sammy D here, coming in with a little check-in as we're a few days away from the latest Mario Kart game to come out. Unbelievable to even say that. It's always an exciting time. Sure, we've had some mixed feelings. Sure, we've been analyzing every bit that we can about Mario Kart World and all the footage, a lot of which has come out today. But I'm so excited. I'm going to tell you all about my thoughts on the game just a few days out. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments and just have a little vibe check on how we're doing and a little bit about Mario Kart Tour. I thought I would make this kind of informal video here just at my desk. I was going to make this video in my Kart Life closet because I haven't done that in a while, right? And I tend to be more informal and casual. I'm just sitting at the desk talking to you guys. That's what we're doing. But I kind of feel bad not including the set, so let's just come with me this way. That's where we're here at the Kart Life set. I'll fire up the blue shell right here to tell y'all something very special in this little sacred space, which is that Koopa V has dropped a new video promising new content from Mario Kart Tour. I'm not talking about a badge, I'm talking about something more than that. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this video. New content for Mario Kart Tour. You are hearing that right, and it's probably gonna be something pretty interesting. So stay tuned for the end of this video for more on that. All right, so stay tuned to the end of the video for that. And also stay tuned, as on the channel I'm going to drop, I hope, if I have time today, another new video tomorrow featuring a brand new soundtrack reaction. This series has been insane. You guys blew up all of my Mario Kart 8 soundtrack reactions videos. And I'm going to talk about how I'm going to approach this for Mario Kart World. Hint, I can't cover all of it, but we're going to do a little teaser tomorrow, as well as a tribute to the end of the Switch era. You're not going to want to miss it, so come back to the channel tomorrow. Also, over on the Discord, we are scaling things down a bit as Mario Kart Tour has gone into the loot mode for now a couple of years. I've removed some channels, put them into the archive section, and we have brand new Mario Kart World channels so that everyone who is still enjoying the server can enjoy discussing this new game. So how are we feeling about Mario Kart World, guys? We have so much new footage dropping all the time. I am watching the footage, but you know, I'm really excited to just discover this game exactly as it is. You know, that's my approach to a new game. That's my style. So Mario Kart World vibe check. Man, I'm so excited for Wednesday night. I've got my Switch pre-ordered. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But how are you guys feeling? This is a brand new Mario Kart game, and this is like this doesn't come along very often. It comes along once every 5 to 10 years. And, you know, I had a little informal rant video last time. I dropped one about just kind of like adjusting to the expectations you have for a game like this, the kind of disappointment you have when it doesn't seem to be living up to the potential of a certain idea, in this case, the open world thing. And, you know, yeah, just like you air out those disappointments and then you kind of adjust to them and then you get excited again. Once you kind of see more of what something actually is. That's the philosophy and the spiritual point you have to arrive at with any game that you're so passionate about and excited about. You know, can you kind of accept and reconcile and come to terms with the game being exactly just what it is and not anything more, nothing less? And I'm excited to find out what this game is. Yes, the lack of a story mode or certain things in the free roam mode you're seeing some of here. I think this is actually a mission, but you see just the freedom of exploration and movement in the world, and that's what I'm so excited to do in this game, probably more than anything. I'll talk about my approach, but you know, the fact that there isn't, you know, boss fights when it would be so easy to make a big King Boo or King Goomba and have these be kind of markers in the quote story, even there's no story, but build it out a little more so there's more to do. It is great that we have hundreds of P-Switch missions, right? This is something that is exciting to hear, that there's a lot of them. Sure, a lot of them will be easy, but we're already hearing some of them are not so easy and they're not going to be such a cinch to do. Take some practice. This is Nintendo Life footage, by the way. I want to give them a shout out for the footage they just posted. But you know, there is a fear that there's not going to be enough to do in the open world, and you know, I think the missions will give you enough to do, but my questions are more like, okay, well, how long will it take to do all of those? You know, after you spend a month maybe with the game and maybe you've completed all of them, how often will you go into that free roam mode if there's not much more to do there? And maybe you won't. You know, maybe it just, the open world serves as just a way to connect all the tracks, and you have all these new Knockout Tour modes you can do with it. And Knockout mode does look, it seems like Knockout mode is the highlight for everyone who's playing. At first, everyone was concerned about the long straightaways. I've never been concerned about that. I want to drive on a long, boring straightaway just because I'm weird like that. I want to just cruise around. But the more reviews that we're getting from people who have had more time with it this week, they keep saying knockout mode is just so much fun. Knockout Tour. I keep calling it knockout mode because Tour is already Tour for me. But yeah, maybe it's just because it's the new exciting thing. Everyone's like more inspired to do that and talk about it than play a Grand Prix. Grand Prix feels like almost an afterthought right now. But no, seeing all these tracks, the fact that you're going to be driving in reverse on some of them, I'm not sure exactly how that will work. I generally think that they are still saving a lot for us to see. You know, some of these channels like this, they have like 4 or 5 hours of playtime, and you know, they're not discovering that much more. There's some analysis people are picking apart today about how you unlock characters. You know, again, these kind of things, I always wish it was a little more robust and a little more thought put into it than there usually is. You know, back in the Mario Kart 8 days, you just do a bunch of races and you collect enough coins. Oh, you unlocked a new thing, and you didn't really have to do anything except play. It would have been cool if you, like, you know, you found characters in certain areas, had to race them in order to earn them on your team and unlock them. But you know, I think they're going to take a more traditional approach with a lot of that stuff. But I think there are going to be characters we probably still haven't seen yet. There's probably NPC characters we still haven't seen yet. There was this massive developer interview that they dropped maybe 1 to 2 weeks ago that had a lot of interesting information in it. One, that Mario Kart World's been developed for about 10 years. They've been working on it forever throughout the making of Mario Kart Tour, which this parlays into the Mario Kart Tour news I'll mention at the end. But yeah, they've been putting a lot into this game, and when you work on a game for that many years, it's going to be deep. It's going to be something they know people are going to have to want to play for the next several years. So I think it's going to be great. I really do. It may not be exactly what I thought it would be, or what I hoped in every aspect, but between Knockout Tour, exploring in free roam, and this new mechanics, the new mechanics of tricking and rail riding, the charge jumping. I mean, there are going to be crazy things people are doing. I already know it's going to be a parkour style approach to finding the best lines on certain tracks and routes. And man, it's going to be a new thing to master. It's going to feel weird at first, and you're going to say, I suck. You're going to say, you suck. But you'll get better, and I can't wait to kind of try to master. I'll never be one of the masters out there, although I think I'm pretty damn good at every Mario Kart game. But this one I think is going to have a really high ceiling for what people are able to do with the new mechanics. That's just my prediction right now. And that's what some other people are saying too. What else to talk about? I have to say, how I'm approaching this, I've teased this before, but I want to be really clear and say straight up, man. I am taking... My plan is this. My plan, I wish they started you off like at Mario's house and you learned about the world and you unlocked certain bits at a time, like a tutorial area, like the Great Plateau, before you got to go to the whole world. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to be able to jump right into the entire world. The menu already, we know if you hit that free roam button, you're going to be dropped into wherever you are on the menu. So, you know, like the first time I open the game, let's say it puts me in Sky High Sunday on the menu. Do I want to start the game at Sky High Sunday? Is that what I want my first experience of the game to be? I don't know. I might re-roll my game and get a new menu and start it somewhere else. Because what I want my first experience in this game to be is just to drop into the world. And it's almost like the Breath of the Wild approach. This game is not going to be as deep as Breath of the Wild. It can't be, which is part of the problem of, you know, creating an open world Mario Kart game. We already have that bar set by something like Breath of the Wild, where there's always going to be more quests to do and so much stuff. But I want to pretend like I'm there. I want to get in my cart. I want to not look at everything online. I want to discover and explore the world myself without anyone else. I want to start somewhere in the middle, Peach's Castle area. I want to check it all out. I want to explore the nooks and crannies, and I want to say, you know what? I'm going to go towards Mario Bros. Circuit, because that's in my mind like the main first course. I'm going to drive myself there. I'm going to explore that. I'm going to see what's up with that track. I'm going to drive around on it casually or whatever for a while before I do any racing. I'm going to go from there to Whistle Stop Summit. I'm going to ride the train tracks there, whatever I want to do. And then I'm going to say something like, man, I can't wait to see that Japanese course, Cheap Cheap Falls. I'm going to make my way there. I'm going to just start going there. And I'm so excited to approach it that way, man. Just like, I don't even know when I'm going to launch into a race or a knockout tour. I'm going to probably for the first few hours, maybe longer, maybe I completely abandon this and I can't help it. I just got to get into a race, but I just want to be in the world and explore it and see what happens. Start doing missions, see if I unlock stuff. I'm curious about the food items where, like, if I'm in free roam, if I can get the food items from Yoshi's Diner, which I love the Yoshi's Diner idea, by the way. All the foods, it's a really cool design element. If you can just get those in free roam, I'm a little concerned about why can't you just spam food items? Like, why can't I just drive around in a loop into the drive-thru over and over again until I get the outfit I want? I'm hoping they've come up with solutions to these questions, but I'm a little worried about that. Same with the Kamek item. I mean, is it going to be pretty RNG and kind of grindy, where you just have to race a lot until you get the Kamek transformations that you're hoping for, or you get transformed by the Kamek item into a sidestepper or an NPC? What if you've unlocked all the NPCs except one, and you just, how long will it take to grind out that unlock? I'm really curious about those kinds of things. Like, have they thought all that through? And I'm sure they have, you know. I hope they have, at least. But we're going to see a clear difference between the main characters and the NPCs. You know, the NPC idea with Cow and Sidestepper, the developers were saying, we just had this idea at a certain point. What if all the obstacles could become drivers? And you're not going to have outfits for those characters. You're not going to have Sidestepper outfits. You're going to have outfits for all the main characters. As for the outfits themselves, I'm so sorry. I just have some unpopular opinions, and that's fine, guys. I don't have to agree with all of you. It's just me. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I have my specific tastes, but I'm not crazy about the outfits. Like, there's not a lot of them that I think look like something I'm dying to have. I would say in general, Tour's approach to outfits was a little more appealing to me. It had maybe a little more like legacy canon type of outfits from previous games. Here I made this comment on Discord, and I truly honestly love everyone. I don't mean this to sound disparaging or yuck anyone's yum in any way. I really swear. But the outfits almost seem like fan creations, if that makes sense. Some of them, a lot of them, like B Wario, that just seems like something that, again, all due respect, would appear on like a Discord server of like, here are my top Wario wishlist alts, you know what I mean? I do have two outfits I really love. My personal favorites so far, the Rosalina Touring with the backwards cap, and I love the Japanese Yoshi with the little knapsack with the coin box. The Yoshi seem to have all different outfits for each color. In other words, each color is its own unique outfit that has a clothing. You don't just play as a yellow Yoshi. Yellow Yoshi is the Japanese alt of Yoshi, so that's a cool approach to the Yoshis. It's still almost hard for me to believe, impossible for me to believe, I would even say, that characters like Conqueror are in the game and PD Piranha is not, and Diddy Kong is not. I kind of refuse to believe that Diddy Kong, Funky, even Rob, you know, people like that won't be unlockable characters. Look at the UFO transformation here where you suck up the food item, just incredible. So cool. This is the track I really want to check out, the Cheap Cheap Falls, the Japanese garden style. It's awesome. We also know that 12 minutes is going to equate to 12 hours of in-game time. So in terms of the night and day transitions, you're going to be seeing that happen every 12 minutes or so you're playing. The tracks themselves, you know, again, concerns about a lot of them. A lot of us have this concern that, you know, the width of them, the scaling does not seem exactly, I don't know, they seem too scaled, too big. Mario Kart, the franchise, has had a real like scaling problem. Like, you see how the tour tracks scaled into 8 Deluxe in a really awkward way where the NPCs were like gigantic. In general, like Mario Kart as a game, whatever version you're playing, it feels better when the tracks are tighter. It feels faster, it feels more intense, it feels more exciting, less boring. When you're in a big wide track, it just doesn't feel like you're moving fast because there's not as much scrolling by you. It's partly just a visual aesthetic thing. And also when you have nice texture on the ground, that makes you feel like you're going faster. I remember in N64, still my favorite Mario Kart game probably at the end of the day, you know, DK's Jungle Parkway with all those tight lanes and the texture of the ground flying by, and then you could zoom out with your button there on the 64 controller, and that really felt like you were flying. But here we want to make sure you feel like you're going fast. I'm concerned about the off-roading. You do get bigger tires when you're off-road, so I think they elevate your speed already, however you're going when you're off-road, to help with the exploration. But Nintendo Life commented on this today that it does feel a lot heavier. You're kind of sludging through some off-road when you're exploring. It doesn't feel as fun as you'd hoped. But I'm going to pick a lightweight character anyway. I think those will handle better probably on the off-road. I love a lightweight character. I'll probably go with my boy Toad, my main from OG days, for a while and see what happens there. The carts look awesome. I love how cartoonish they look. I continue to love the general design of like I said, the Yoshi's Diner, the food concepts, the way the carts look, the way the characters look, you know, DK aside. I'm still not adjusting to DK, but whatever. But yeah, the tracks, I don't know. There's certain trajectories and trends that Mario Kart has moved in that are just not how like my younger self would have imagined it would have gone. You know, when I look back on 64 Double Dash, even Mario Kart 7 era, you know, Wii, I don't know, man, there's a hyper realism to, even though we have a more cartoony look, the realism to, like, let's say Bowser's Castle, where, you know, like in Karting All Day talked about this too, my boy Oscar, Experts New, Oscar Mario Kart channel, which we're really aligned on things. Like he talks like a kart lifer, and it's like, I never wanted Bowser's Castle to be like some gigantic construction that's like a fun house. You know, it's more like in 64 Bowser's Castle, you almost have like a liminal space feeling to it, where you're driving through a castle, you're down the hallways, the open chambers and the courtyards and the rooftops and the outer perimeters and the moats and the castle walls. Whereas now Bowser's Castle just feels like a gigantic amusement park contraption that's not even a real place. Like, why is that there? And you know, I'm not trying to get all like too snobby about Mario Kart World, where I need the world to feel believable and realistic, but you don't want to stray too far from that either. You know, like, why is all of this here? What is this world? Is it the normal Mushroom Kingdom? There's already a lot of inconsistencies where you're shoving Sarasa Land all of a sudden into Shy Guy Bazaar when that's supposed to be its whole own kingdom, right? Why not make that another DLC island where you're at Sarasa Land? Anyway, I'm always like, it's always hard for me dreaming so big with my imagination about what Mario Kart could do, because, you know, you kind of have to come back down to reality when they end up kind of trying to compromise things in a way that, you know, they inevitably have to make a game that tries to hit on everything. So I don't know. Will you be able to race as these buffalo and zebra and giraffes? I don't know. There's some wording in the developer interview that makes it kind of sound like you would, but I think it's just their way of talking about how they came around on cow idea. The music also, you know, I'm going to have an unpopular opinion about it so far. It's not how I thought I would see Mario Kart trending, where they basically took the big band approach of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And for good reason, they just said, all right, we got probably a lot of the same musicians even and composers. Let's keep parlaying into the next game. Here are all the arrangements. We're going to have probably over 100 retro songs. Let's just bang these out. Let's have these awesome arrangements. Let's play them live in a studio with a band. And you have that live drummer feeling. I'm a drummer, so I'm particularly tuned into that. And it just comes off to me like you're listening to a cover band at a wedding playing Mario Kart music. That's the worst way it can hit for me. And it doesn't feel cemented into the official canon of Nintendo music yet for me, because it feels like a live band. I know we've had a lot of live drumming on plenty of Mario Kart music before, and a lot of the Booster Pass music worked really well that way. But I'm missing more of the stuff that, like, Nintendo Wii era kind of indicated Mario Kart would go, where Mario Kart music doesn't sound like anything else. It's this blend of electronic elements and acoustic elements and keyboards, and instead of that, we're just getting even more late 80s shredding heavy metal guitar. And I'm not trying to be too much a stickler, get too hung up on that, but why are we 30 years in now, like, still having shredding electric guitar? There's so many other instruments like piano and organ and like electric piano. Those to me were always more essential Mario Kart type sounds. I don't really get the approach they're doing right now, other than this is an effective use of our resources to kind of keep this live band sessions going that we've been doing for Mario Kart 8 and continue working on the new soundtrack. I don't know when they recorded all of it, and I will say as a caveat, I've already heard bits and pieces of other in-game music from some of the menus that do sound more like what I'm wanting. It's not just all a live rock band. I'll have more to say about this in my music video tomorrow, so you guys come in and tune back in for that. But I'm reserving judgment. I want to hear the whole thing. I want to see whatever they do and enjoy whatever it is, man. That's my approach. Look, I got my Switch 2 reserved for tomorrow, literally tomorrow. I can't believe it. I got 2 reserved, one for me, one for a friend. I wanted to make sure I was covered, so I ended up with 2. One's the bundle. I'm getting the non-bundle because I want that physical copy of Mario Kart World. So yeah, are you getting the bundle? Are you getting Mario Kart World? Are you getting this at all? Are you just going to kind of watch from the sidelines and kind of make up your mind? Because getting a whole new console for your family, especially with Switch 2 still doing great numbers and kids love the Switch. Sorry, the regular Switch 1. Why pay $500 just for a new system, just for this one game just yet? But I hope it's the Mario Kart game we've always wanted, man. I really do. I hope it is. Can't wait to see how it turns out. Let's go back into the Kart Live closet. I'm going to close out this video by telling you the top secret, really important news from Mario Kart Tour you guys need to know about. Well, I'm not telling you the actual news, but I'm telling you what you need to know about what you need to know. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right, right here. See, we're good. We still got the Kart Life set. In fact, let's fire up the blue shell for y'all. Bam. All right, guys, here's the deal. Koopa V comes out of nowhere with a big announcement. He posts on the Discord that he's gonna have another video premiere with another big announcement. This is the guy who leaked all of the final content for Mario Kart Tour, and I'm not going to tell you anything about what it actually is specifically because I don't know yet myself, but I want to tell you that if you haven't seen Koopa V's video, you need to go over there and see it right now. I'll just summarize by saying that in the Mario vs. Luigi Tour, there is going to be new content added to the game. I'm not talking about a badge, I'm not talking about some new loading screen, I'm talking about a new driver and 4 new karts. Believe it or not, yes, I know, it's hard to believe 2 years into loop mode or whatever we are at. And there's a lot of speculation about what the heck this is. It doesn't mean more new content coming forward. Probably not. My theory, if you kind of just like put all the tea leaves together, is that, you know, with Mario Kart World coming out, they wanted to do something for that, and they always planned on it, and maybe they thought Mario Kart World was going to come out before the end of loop mode, or before the end of content in Mario Kart Tour, and the schedule got messed up to the point where, okay, we actually stopped new content for Tour, but Mario Kart World's coming out next year. Well, let's save this one driver that kind of ties into it. Let's save that for the release, and we'll have one special tour that just happens then. And it's not even going to be a different tour, but at least a new driver and 4 karts. I don't know what the 4 karts are going to be. The speculation on the driver is that it could be something related to World. Obviously, with the meme of it all, the biggest meme of the year and one of the biggest Mario Kart memes ever already is Cow. So is it going to be Cow as a driver? Is it going to be Spike, who we never got to see, Spike being in Mario Kart World, and we had the Mii suit for Spike? I don't know. All I know is I'm going to try to actually avoid the spoilers if it comes out from Koopa V or anyone else, or when the trailer comes out for, you know, if that's how they announce what's happening in the Mario vs. Luigi Tour. But I will try my best to give you guys an authentic, unspoiled video reaction myself here from this Kart Live closet if I can, about a new freaking driver in Mario Kart Tour. They probably won't break the meta, which is already dominated by the Miis, and at this point, who cares? We're all just coasting through this game and enjoying it. But how fun will it be to have a new driver and maybe a new original character that, who knows, could have a fun skill, and we could just throw a bunch of tickets towards, or the karts could be great too. I mean, like, what if it's another great hitbox kart? And then these karts and driver are going to be buffed for the next year. That's kind of interesting to think about, that they actually had to plot that out so that the buffs aren't already finished. I always wondered, like, oh, we never made a video about like the final meta of the game. Well, good thing we didn't, because it's about to change again if 4 new carts and a driver are going to get buffed. Anyway, to all of you who still are playing Mario Kart Tour, like me, getting your coins every day, maybe not limit breaking, but still enjoying the game, still going for ranked cup, and you know, having fun with it, you got something really fun to look forward to right upon the release of Mario Kart World very soon. So stay tuned if that driver drops when it comes out. Or I don't know how you're going to get it. I don't know if it's going to be a gold pass gift or a ranked reward or, God forbid, a pack, but we'll see. And I'll be here for you to experience that new driver and open it up together as we have one little additional burst. Who knows, there could be more, but one little additional burst of new stuff for Tour. Really fun. Love you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time.